Hi, my name is Tuğrul Acar. I am a PhD candidate in the Department of History of Art and Architecture at Harvard University, specializing in Islamic art and architecture. This year, I am a PhD fellow at Koç University's ANAMED. Before talking about my dissertation project, I'd like to give a little bit of background about myself. Having studied history at Boğaziçi University, I developed interests in medieval and early Ottoman history. I earned my master's degree in art history from the University of Texas in Austin in 2018. Then I continued to the PhD program at Harvard. During my graduate studies, I have become interested in vernacular architecture, architectural decoration, and the concepts of materiality and artistic mobility. My dissertation, which is tentatively titled The Shrine of Rumi and Mevlevi Social-Religious Spaces in Late Medieval Anatolia, will investigate the network of Sufi shrines and convents that I have identified as belonging to the Mevlevi order. Known as whirling dervishes in the West, after their ritual dance, this group of Sufis follow the teachings of the 13th century mystic poet Celaleddin Rumi. In this project, my main question is how those shrines and convents helped create an interconnected network of cities and a territory of Mevlevi influence across a politically fragmented landscape. By studying patronage relations between political authorities and Sufi groups, I also seek to elucidate the role of Sufi communities as political agents in the transitions from the Mongol through early Ottoman periods. For example, I will explore why the Karamanids patronized Mevlevi shrines, while the Mevlevis shifted their political support from the Mongols in the mid-14th century. I will also consider the success of Safavid Shiite missionaries in recruiting followers in Ottoman lands to ask whether this prompted the Sunni Ottoman state to back Mevlevis at the turn of the 16th century. In my dissertation, I aim to contribute to a larger conversation on the role of the veneration of Sufi saints and mystical practices played in the religious cultures of Islamic societies. Viewing saintly veneration and mystical Sufi groups as a cross-cultural and cross-religious phenomenon in Anatolia, I propose Mevlevi shrines acted as interface between Muslims and Christians. Christian communities not only viewed Mevlevi saints as holy saintly figures and attended Sufi rituals, but also charitable services such as food and lodging were offered to Christians. I decided to focus on 4 historical monuments together with their urban contexts as case studies, namely the shrine complex of Celaleddin Rumi in Konya, the Mevlevi convent of Manisa, the Green Imaret in Tire, and the Muradiye complex of Edirne. During my residency as fellow at ANAMED, I am going to travel to these sites to study them from architectural and urban perspectives, including their built forms and interior decorations. Arabic Quranic verses, hadith, or Persian Sufi poems found in the form of inscriptions in these buildings and wall paintings will show how artistic forms reveal Sufi beliefs. An investigation of portable objects given to the shrines by political elite will also contribute to the understanding of their ritualistic and devotional uses, together with patronage networks. I am also going to study endowment deeds, or vakfiyes in Turkish, to help me elucidate the social, religious, and ritual activities that took place in the buildings. Such deeds typically record information related to a building's day-to-day functioning and financing, such as employee salaries and beneficiaries. My project aims to demonstrate that these buildings housed not only mystical devotions, but also charitable services, such as food and lodging, for a larger public. I will carry out my research on endowment deeds in the archives of General Directorate of Pious Foundations in Ankara. Preserved in the same institution, photographs and architectural drawings made during building surveys and restorations are also crucial documents for me to investigate changes in the physical space of the buildings. At the Ottoman Archives in Istanbul, I will be researching tax registers, or tahrir defterleri in Turkish, which list the number of urban residents and pious foundations, including Sufi convents and mosques. Such an approach will allow me to map out settlements around Mevlevi convents. I plan to examine especially a collection of recently discovered tax registers dating to the reign of Murat II and which are among the earliest Ottoman documents of this type. Before concluding, while grounding this project on archival material and historical sources, it is also my aim to draw from current theories of art and architectural history, urban studies, and landscape studies. For example, actor network theory will give a new perspective to see buildings, cities, their patrons, and audience as part of a network. In order to test my hypothesis that Mevlevi convents constituted a territory of influence beyond political boundaries, I find it useful to draw from Gilles Deleuze and Guattari's theories on territoriality and city-state relationships. Of course, I anticipate that my project will develop and evolve in new ways as I carry out more research over this year. I am excited to be one of the fellows at the ANAMED and to carry out this research in this institution. The ANAMED is a unique environment which fosters dialogue and the exchange of ideas because it has a community of international scholars from multiple disciplines and historical periods.